Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Final Siren podcast. It's great to be back. We have been away for quite a few days. Obviously, different commitments. Lachlan went away to schoolies. I went away and for a bit of a holiday after I just finished school. All of us have had a few things going on in our lives at the moment. So we do apologize for not obviously uploading for a few days, going live for a few days. But we're back now with BBL content, which was this one's one of the most look forward to content that we said we were going to provide. A lot of people were asking for BBL content a few weeks ago when we announced that we'd be expanding. So we're excited to bring it here today. And we'd also like to announce beforehand that we are doing a tipping comp. And if you want to win some money, there will be money involved, a $50 prize for the winner, I believe it is. And it's pretty simple to get into the tipping comp. If you want, I'll be posting on Instagram as well. But just send us a DM on the account. If you can show proof that you're following our Instagram page and subscribed to our channel, I'll send you the name and the password for the tipping account. That way you can get in. And who knows, if you place first, you have a chance to win $50, which is a little bit of money, not too much, but I mean, $50 for yeah, $50 for pressing a few buttons. I mean, that's not bad. I'd love to do that. So make sure you get in while you still can. I'm not too sure how many slots there are. It's on an app called ESPN Footy Tips. I'm not too familiar with it. But yeah, so make sure to send us a message on the Instagram account if you have any interests or questions. But for now, we'll get to the episode. Boys, the BBL 12 is upon us. I believe it's BBL 12. And yeah, a few obviously shock signings, shock injuries. For instance, Glenn Maxwell being out. That's going to be big for the Stars, which Davis goes for. We'll start off with a few predictions. We've got ladder, the winners, the spooners, leading run scorer, and the leading wicket taker for the tournament. We'll start off with Lachlan. He's been away for a little while. Would you like to take us through a few of your predictions?
Are we doing one by one, or are we just going to go through them all at once?
Maybe one by one. So you start us off with your ladder, and then we'll go around to each of the others.
Okay. First, I'm going to have the Sixers. Second, I'm going to have Scorchers still. That's by looking at their bowling attack. Like looking at that, I've still easily got the best bowling attack in the comp. Third, Heat. Fourth, Strikers. Fifth, Thunder. Sixth, I feel like I'm missing a team.
Stars?
No,
Hurricanes, Strikers, Renegades.
Stars 6th, Canes 7th, Renegades 8th.
Yeah, that's a fair ladder. Something similar to that for me. What about you, Davos?
Yep. So I've got it actually up here. I've got Sixers first, Scorchers second, Heat third, Thunder fourth, Stars fifth, Strikers sixth, Canes seventh, and the Renegades at eighth.
Yeah, that's good. By the way, we do have a lot of people coming in now, 7 viewers at the moment. In case you missed it at the beginning, we are hosting a BBL tipping comp for $50 goes to the winner. So make sure to look at our Instagram page. I'll be putting up a post after this podcast is done. Send us a message if you have any questions. We'll get through the rest of the episode first, but just wanted to mention that for our newer viewers. Faraz, what about you? What's your ladder looking like?
All right. First, I'm going to go with the Perth Scorchers. I know they've lost the futures, but they're a hard side to beat, especially back in Perth. So I'm going to go Scorchers first. I think Sixers come second. Third, I'm going to have Thunder. I think I trust them just a little bit more than the Heat. Fourth, I'm going to go Brisbane Heat. I think they'll make a appearance in the finals. I think fifth will be Melbourne Stars. Sixth, I would go Strikers. Seventh, Hurricanes. And eighth, Renegades for the spin once more.
Okay. My one's a bit different. I at one stage, Faraz and I had very similar, the exact same ladder.
Yes.
But I'm gonna go Scorchers first. I believe they're gonna back up their obviously great form the past few years in the competition. Finish first again. I'm gonna go Sixers second. I'm gonna back my Heat in for third place, only because.
Who did you say second again? My bad.
Sixers second.
Oh,
And then, so I'm going to go third Heat. A few good signings will get us there, I think. Thunder, I believe with the loss of Kawaja, that could be really big for them, and them not getting Billings back again. So I'm going to place them at fourth. Fifth, I'm going to go, honestly, I'm going to go Stars just. But that could change because Maxwell obviously been out for most of the tournament. And then six, I'm going to go Renegades. Just looking at their squad is honestly, I've had them for the spoon, but looking at the squad, they have quite a few good players in there. And then I'm going to go Adelaide Strikers seventh, and I'm going to go Hobart Hurricanes eighth. I just don't think Hobart are going to go too well this year. So then, who do you have? Obviously winning the BBL this year, boys. Could be a bit of a tough one. We'll go in the same order. So Lachlan first.
Well, I hope it's the Heat, and I'm confident that will be up there, but I think we'll fall away at the back end, to be honest, with Munro and Billings leaving. I don't like the consistency either. For me, I'm gonna go Sixers. I think looking at the squad, they've still got internationals there. They've still got Vince. They've still got Jordan. Their bowling attack, they've still got Sean Abbott, Ben Dwarshuis, Nathan Lyon. And O'Keefe, he's there still. And then you look at the batters, like they've still got Philippi, Vince, Hughes, Silk, name the rest. So for me, I've got to go Sixers, but I think Scorchers and Sixers will be back and forth all season at the top two, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Davos?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to second Lockie there. I agree. I reckon the Sixers will win the comp. Their squad stays the same, and they play together quite consistently. Like Hughes, Silky, young Philippi's coming through, and then the bowling attack like Dwarshuis, I think, is extremely underrated. And got some good internationals. Like Jordan's a good death bowler. They've got who else do they have as their they got James Vince back. He's a very, very good pickup. And they've got the Naveed guy. So I feel like they will have a strong squad and they'll be very tough to beat.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Faraz, what about you?
Oh, okay. It's realistically between Perth and Sixers, you'd think, but I'm going to go the Scorchers. I don't know. I just think they're a tough side to beat in general, and they've sort of got a good record against the Sixers itself. So I'm going to go Perth Scorchers to win it, I reckon.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to go the Stars to win their first. No, okay. Sorry. I'm going to go with. See, I really want to back my Heat here, but I don't think so. I'm going to go Scorchers. I think. See, even with the loss of, even with a few of their losses, I still think they are a top two team, definitely.
Actually, wait. Mitchell Marshall's out of the tournament, right?
And Phil Salt.
Oh.
And Curtis Patterson's got. You know
It
what?
is.
You look at their bowling attack. They've still got Richardson, Berendorf, Matt Kelly, Tymal Mills, Andrew.
Yeah.
Peter Hatzeglu, Ashton Agar.
Yeah, true.
No.
In that case, I'm actually going to go Heat. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with my team, Brisbane Heat to win it. Exactly. Lachlan's saying there.
No, I'll stay with the Scorchers.
Dave, imagine not wearing a Stars jersey.
Davos clearly repping the Scorchers, the Strikers there. Davos is, but yeah, I think I'm going to back the Heat here. But I think honestly, it's going to be between Heat and Scorchers for me. But Sixers, I reckon Sixers make it. Possibly, yeah.
Is there anything
I'm
you
not
don't
sure.
want to see win it this year? I mean, obviously, it'll
Stars.
probably be the Scorchers, Sixers, those two. But like, other than those two, is there anyone else you don't want to see win it?
Stars. Sorry.
Look, I'd love to see the Heat win one. I mean, not one. I'd love to win another one. I would like to see the Heat win. Yeah, that's really it, to be honest.
I'd love to see the Heat win. Yeah.
Spooners. Now we did read our ladders before, but who just give a quick opinion on who your spooners are and just maybe a quick reason why. Lachlan, would you like to go again?
But both teams in the Big Bash in Melbourne are shit, so you got to pick one of them. So you got to go the Renegades. I mean, like you look at their squad, they're still strong, but they're still young. You look at their batters, they've still got Mackenzie Harvey, Fraser McGurk, and a few others there. They just don't have the firepower that other teams do. Martin Guptill's a big get for them. Liam Livingston, losing him was a huge loss for them, I believe. But yeah, Renegades to get the spoon, even as hard as it is to say, because you don't want a team to lose that many comps, but someone's got to be it, so I'll pick them.
Yeah. Now, quickly before we go on to Davos, would you boys say that losing Liam Livingston, obviously him being the first, he was the first, wasn't he the first pick?
Yeah, first
the draft.
Yeah. And so, would you say that how big would that will that loss affect them? Would you say if he stayed in, would you have them moving from the spoon?
It's a huge loss for sure. I think Liam Livingston was sort of seen as the marquee signing for the year. They sort of missed that explosive, experienced big head, and he's always played for the Perth Scorchers, so he's coming from a winning culture. So I think them losing, I think they're trying to build a team around him. Now that they've lost him, I think they've just lost the plot in general.
Yeah,
now they're sort of over reliant Finch is just washed up right now. So
I think it's a big loss for the Gades because obviously he was the first pick. Like you've seen Liam Livingston, he's a terrific finisher, and one part of his game that's extremely underrated is his bowling. I mean, he can bowl. He bowls leggies and offense,
sure.
and he's also a very very good fielder. So that it's a big loss, but I'm sure we'll talk about this later. But I hope Guptill has a good tournament.
Yeah, it's fair play there. Sorry, Davos. Who are your spooners for this upcoming season?
Yeah, I've got the Renegades finishing at the bottom. Look, obviously they are arch rivals, but that's not the reason I have them at the bottom. I just feel like they've got some good young players like Mackenzie Harvey, Fraser McGurk, Harper, and they've got a few experienced heads that have been out of form. Nick Manson hasn't clicked ever since he left the Sixers, and Finch is a bit out of form at the minute. So I just think it's going to take a lot for the Renegades to not win the spoon, but I can't go against them winning the spoon.
Yep. For us, who are your spooners again?
It's got to be the Renegades. Simple as that. I don't think they've got a bad squad as well they previously had, but all these players Dave was just mentioned, yeah, they're good players, but they don't have the experience what it takes to the other teams and all that. So I think they're still trying to develop, and I think Livingston's a big loss because they don't really have anyone to really build a team around against, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do think they'll win a few more games. I think it'll be a much more tighter comp, but still coming last.
I have currently Hurricanes. I mean, I'm not too sure. There's not really much in it. I just think I looked at the squad of the Renegades, and I feel like with that squad,
I think Hurricanes bowling's better.
Yeah, I mean, Andre Russell is coming in for the Renegades. Martin Guptill is as well. Obviously, only for a few games though. They aren't there permanently. But still, I feel like
Majid's a big get for the Gades.
Yeah, he is as well. So
you didn't rate him, did you, mate?
No, I didn't rate him, but the Gabba has a pace on wicket.
He's this. He's economical, but he does not take wickets.
And when we've got the likes of Mick Swepson and Kuhneman in the attack, you can't really complain about having them.
Australian conditions. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. In which we'll talk about that soon, possibly about who takes over from Majib's spot. But I think just Hurricanes for me. I feel like I'm not too sure. I'm not too keen on them. I mean, they do have Matty Wade still, and I mean Darcy Short's been in a pretty crap spot of form in the BBL of recent years. I mean Tim David's been good for them. Ellis has been good. But other than that, I mean, I can't really see anyone else. They did sign Zach Crawley as well, but I don't really see him as a T20 batsman. I haven't seen him in too many T20 games. But yeah, I'm not really too sure on that. I think Hurricanes get it. I'm not sure if that's me just wanting to give Renegades a break of having the spoon for a year, but I mean, who knows? Now, leading run scorer for BBL 12, boys. Lachlan, who's yours?
People are going to think I'm batshit crazy. People aren't going to agree with it. But a man with a fresh start who's been locked up since day dot with one club. I mean, Adelaide Oval, you can't, like, this is Lynn's dynamite. Like, you got short boundaries everywhere. The bloke can hit a 6 off the edge of his bat. It is pace on. For me, Lynn is going to go ballistic this season for the strikers, and I think he's going to be leading run score. I think there's going to be a few strikers up there, like Matt Short's another option. Josh Phillippe will be up there again, I believe.
Yeah.
Jason.
He's overrated though, so it's going to be hard to see.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah.
He might go to shit at a new club. Who knows? We don't know this. This is what we're to find out.
Sure.
But for me, Lynn is to go big this season, and I'll say he'll score his second BBL ton this season as well.
That's big call. What about you, Davos?
This is hard. I mean, Lynn's a great option, but this might get a bit controversial. But I'm gonna go someone from the Hurricanes.
McDermott?
I'm gonna go Ben McDermott. Yeah,
that's same as me.
So I've always been a big fan of Ben McDermott. Like his knock against the Renegades, where he made like 140 or like that was freakish. Like the bloke is clearly talented, and I feel like this is his season where he's really going to show the Aussie selectors that he needs to be picked for the next T20 World Cup. Like he's a great player, and I hope he does well. Him at the top with Wadey and Shorty, they'll give him the license to just go for it, and I feel like that'll really suit McDermott. So I'm gonna go with Benny McDermott.
Yeah, fair play.
Just before I say mine, I was probably going to have Uzi as leading run scorer, but I just realized he's on test duty. So I'm going to go Ben McDermott. The bloke is simply consistent. If you've seen the last few seasons, he's always at the top 5 for most runs. His shot selection is really crazy. He can find the gaps. He's got a good technique and score at a decent run rate. So, yeah, Ben McDermott at the top of the order. I think you should get on that.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, I feel like Marcus Stoinis could be a good shout. I feel like he could step up in Maxwell's absence, but I'm not too sure if I want to really.
I hope he does.
He's a BBL king, I've got to say, though.
Yeah. I'm going to go Marcus Stoinis, but Xavier Bartlett a close second. No, Marcus Stoinis, I think he'll have a really good season with, obviously, with the bat. Just keep him away from the ball and you should be fine. But Marcus Stoinis, for me, is going to be leading run scorer. But what about leading wicket taker, boys? This one, I actually have no clue yet. I'll have to read through the team list and stuff. But Lachlan, have you got an idea?
Yeah, so I'm going to go a Sixers player. I think.
Sean Abbott?
Huh?
Are you going to say Sean Abbott?
Yeah.
I
just think, like, the man is a BBL veteran now. You can't put that past him. He knows every wicket in Australia. He's claimed about every person in the Big Bash. I think he's leading wicket taker of all time now.
Yeah, he's got more than 100 wickets now. I think it's either him or Ben Lachlan.
Yeah, which Ben Lachlan, don't even get me started on him. So for me, it's Sean Abbott. I think this year he's going to have a huge year. He'll get 25 plus wickets. A fifer maybe coming up, but we just have to wait because you also don't know. He could get picked in white ball cricket again. Who knows?
Yeah.
Very true. What about you, Davos?
This is gonna get controversial for sure. I'm gonna go someone from the Scorchers who I think
I don't think that's controversial if it's from the Scorchers.
No. But like I feel like he might go. He's a bit up and down.
If it's Peter Hadzeglue.
No, I'm gonna go Andrew Ty.
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like he's very underrated, and he can bowl quick pace. But what I'm impressed with the most about Ty is his change ups and his slower ball, his cutters. He's got good change ups, and I feel like on the Perth wicket where it's bouncy, I feel like it will suit him a lot. And obviously, like he gets obviously no credit because you got likes of Berendorf, Richardson, Hatzeglu. So I feel like he will surprise a lot of people and will take a lot of wickets.
Yeah. I actually met Andrew Ty a few years ago.
Legend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Faraz? Who's your leading wicket taker for next season?
Okay, I'm going to say Sean Abbott, but I think who's going to be close to him? I think next up will be Rashid Khan after Sean Abbott, probably. I think Rashid Khan at Adelaide over under lights, spinning conditions. He just knows how to read the wicket. He can get wickets. He's economical as well. He can back slow a few as well. So yeah, I think Rashid Khan's a good option. But I'm going to go Sean Abbott.
I think another option also is Jai Richardson. I think a full healthy
100%.
year in the
deadly.
Big Bash. He could fire up, but
Peter Siddle's another one. Peter Siddle.
Nah, the
Yeah,
bloke eats
he's-
more bananas. He bowls cricket balls.
But Lachlan's just read my mind there. I'm going Joe Richardson. I think, honestly, I feel like he'll have a great year. You could argue he's been a bit unlucky to not be picked for Australia in T20 format the past few times.
Who?
I feel like Richardson.
Oh yeah, sure.
He's a very underrated T20 bowler. You don't really see him leak too many boundaries very often. He gets the wickets when needed. So yeah, I'm going to go Richardson. I feel like
Bro, they keep going with the wrong one. They keep going with
the wrong Richardson. What
Oh god.
what is so good about Kane Richardson? Nothing. Oh my goodness.
You know the Aussie selectors are munted when they choose Lance Morris to come into the Aussie Test squad.
Yeah.
Why? Scott Boland, Jai Richardson.
Another jig got Scott Boland touring with the team, and they still chose Lance Morris.
You got to be kidding me.
Bill
Scott
the
Boland. Have people forgotten what Scott Boland did? He's not just an MCG specialist. Trust me. Bowl him somewhere else. I swear he will go well.
It
What
performed
a
at the Sydney
surprise me
Test.
if he is a one-game wonder, though.
Yeah. But he did perform in the Sydney Test, so
Does Scott Boland have a BBL contract?
I think it was
he's still with Hurricanes, I think. I'll have to double check it, but I believe he is. I don't rate him. To be fair, I don't rate him too much as a T20 bowler. Although he's quite economic, but he
was at the Stars though, so you can't really go off that.
Yeah, true. Okay. Best signing for each club. Now I don't have all the signings written down. All
Does this
I did
count
was
as re-signing as well? Like retaining players or?
No, I no. In the draft, mate, I'm not too sure.
Wait, so can this be like this can be internationals as well, not just local
internationals
players.
as well. Yeah, I reckon we won't go with re-signings or retainings. We'll just go with people who are heading to a new club next year. Starting off with the Adelaide Strikers, I think we're probably all going to go with the same person. There's not too many people who signed with Adelaide Strikers newly. But Lachlan, we all know who you're going to say. You might as well go ahead and say it.
Oh, you got to back your boy, don't you? I mean, he's been my favourite player since following the Big Bash. I've met him 5 times. I've spoken to him on Instagram. I've done the rest with him. He's a great bloke. I've got to go Chris Lynn. I can't go past him. I mean, the guy is the best player in BBL history for no reason. People can argue with that, but you just got to look at the stats. Faraz is laying like a porn star. But, yeah, you got to go. You got to go with Chris Lynn.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Davos?
Yeah, I can't really disagree with Lockie there. I have to go with Chris Lynn. I feel like this is what he needs. Him batting with short head. I don't know. Actually, no, head will be at the squad, but when head does come back, that'll be good. Carey, I think this is what Lynn needs, and I think this is what Lynn will do. So I think he will surprise a lot of people and come top 5 in the leading run scorer.
Very good. By the way, if you haven't already, leave your questions in the comments. We'll get to a few once we're done. We won't answer all of them. But Faraz, who is your best signing for the Adelaide
Who have they
Sharks?
signed? Anyone, have they signed anyone else other than Chris Lynn?
I don't think so. I don't
The
really
Grant
recognize him.
home, if you want to
Sorry?
put him.
Oh, yeah.
Who?
Colin de Grant home. You've got Adam Hosey.
Colin de Condom.
You know what? Let's go Colin de Grant home. I think we'll have a good season.
Oh, my goodness.
What? You're
No,
what?
okay.
Naughty
You're
Colin.
laughing at me. He's an international player. He's
Send him
done
to the
it before.
naughty.
International
Honestly.
big knocks. I think Colin de Grant home's going to have a good year.
Okay. Chris Lynn for me. Just like you two said, Chris Lynn. Obviously, I think he's the best signing they've made. And honestly, in your honest opinion, boys, where would you be playing Chris Lynn if you're the strikers? Are you opening him or are you putting him in at 3? Where are you playing him?
So they've got Matt Short and all that. So I'll open him with Jake Weatherall or something. Left, right hand.
I disagree there. I would put him at 3, right? I'll tell you what. I'm telling Matt Short and I'm telling Weatherald.
Yeah, but I feel Matt Short's more of a number 3, honestly. I feel Matt Short can come after one drop, maybe. Like Callum Ferguson for Thunder. He can score at a decent rate and keep the wickets. I just feel you need aggression at the top as well.
But like I'm telling the openers, right, to just go flat out, like just try hit everything. Because think about it, you've got probably the best player in BBL history to come in Chris Lynn, short boundaries. There is a little weakness against spin, but he has improved heaps against spin. But I feel like they won't bowl spin till like, around 10, 12 over.
Well, you know what, Davis, I'm actually going to disagree with you there purely because I feel like if you're going to send out two batsmen to open and tell them to just hit anything that moves practically and just go for anything, I reckon Chris Lynn is someone you'd want to be doing that.
I agree with you. I agree.
So,
I just
don't
think Lynn's an opener though. Like he can open, but I just think he's like Lynn's best form at the Heat has come when he.
Would he be at 4 then, like he used to be with Heat? So you've got Matt Short.
Lynn was always at 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Lynn has always been a 3.
Okay, you know what I'll do? I would open Jake Weatherall and Matt Renshaw. Matt Short 3 or Lynn.
Renshaw's at the Heat.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah, Renshaw's at the Heat now, buddy.
Okay.
He's come home to the best team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pretty much a straight swap.
It would be interesting to say. Maybe you put Weatherall at 3. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see what they do.
For me, you put Lynn at 3. You open with Short and Weatherall because you also, people are forgetting, you've got Travis Head and Alex Carey to come into the team as well.
Yeah, that is true.
Which Lynn will not be opening when Carey and Head are available.
Yeah, exactly. And then that begs the question: when strikers are full strength, and Carey and Header would obviously be the openers you'd imagine. Unless
open with Carey and Weatherall, Lynn at 3, Short 4, use Head as a floater.
Okay, that's a fair assessment there, especially considering Travis Head. He's a really good T20 batsman when he's on.
He can hit a long ball, but he can also hit the gaps and run hard if he needs.
Exactly. He's a good batsman. It's in all formats. Travis Head, brilliant talent. Brisbane Heat. There was a few different signings for Brisbane Heat. Obviously, Sam Billings, Usman Khawaja. Like I said before, you have Renshaw coming back to the Heat, back to where he belongs. Who's your best signing for the Heat next season? Davos, start us off this time.
I think this is a pretty simple answer. You have to go Usman Khawaja. I mean, this is what the Heat have always been the team that have been known for just like having that one dimension and just going just smack every ball. Usman Khawaja will allow the likes of Max Bryan, Renshaw, Munro, Billings, they'll allow them to go big because Uzi can play his innings, right? He can take his time and he can score quickly. So I feel like this is the perfect signing for the Heat, and I think he has to be opening.
Yeah, it's fair. Lachlan, what about you?
I've got to agree. I've got to go with Khawaja. I mean, he's done it all in the Big Bash. He's done it all in cricket. He's going to be our captain. There's not much really to add. He's the veteran. He's going to add a calm head, which is what the Heat were looking for. Future plans, he signed a 4-year contract, so he's with us for a while, so he's going to know the ins and outs of everything. For me, it's Kawaja, and Billings comes a close second.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Faraz, what about you?
Just before I say mine, I've got a question for you, lads. Do you think Uzi has actually been like underused in T20 cricket for Australia? Obviously, playing only 8 games, they've chosen people like Smith and all that over him. Do you think Uzi should have been given more chances in T20 cricket for Australia? Would you have Uzi over Smith?
I don't see where Kawaja fits in the Australian T20 team, to be honest.
Or would you have had him over Smith if you had to choose?
If I'm being honest,
Smith is the best batsman in the world for a reason. So
yeah, but that's T20 cricket, and he
Kawaja has been good in the BBL. Don't get me wrong, but Kawaja, besides that year where the Thunder beat the Stars in the final, that year Kawaja went crazy. Like you could barely get him out. Like besides that season, like he's been all right, but he hasn't been like amazing.
Yeah, but what about the last? But you would surely have him over Smith, though, right?
See, it's a tough one because there's plenty of batsmen I'd have over Smith in the Australian T20 side, but there's plenty of players I'd have over Smith in the Australian T20 side, but I don't think Kawaja is one of them in
really?
the fourth spot. I'm not sure. If Kawaja was in the T20 side for me, he'd have to be open. The Australian T20 side for me, he'd have to be opening, and I don't think he's that good of an opener.
That's sort of like Uzi in Test match and ODI cricket as well. If you had to fit him in, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but I think I honestly look. Uzi's definitely gonna be a gun for you guys, but I think Billings, because he's gonna start the season before Uzi, I think Billings is the perfect signing for the Heat. Not only Billings can go at the first ball, but also he have been known for their collapses. They've lost 6 for 36. They've lost winnable games right there. Billings will add that experience in the middle. He will not give his wicket away easily. He'll build partnerships. He'll give experience to the Heat. I just think this is a perfect signing for the Heat, a club that's been struggling a lot, that can't really go on with starts. I think Billings is the perfect. If Bryant all that can go at like what after 4-5 overs 30 without loss 40, you're 60 without 2. Billings is the perfect man to come into that match position.
Yeah, I agree. What about you? Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, Lachlan, you've already gone. Sorry. It's up to me. I think honestly, Renshaw will be there the whole season. I believe so. That it's sort of for me that does tick a few boxes, but I'm gonna go with Usman Khawaja. I think obviously being promoted to captain straight away, upon signing, he is a very steady head, and like you boys said, Billings a close second. Both are very steady batsmen. Both can build partnerships. Both give the other batsman a license to just hit the ball. So I'm going to go Usman Khawaja, and I'm very happy with that signing as a Heat fan. I'm obviously Lachlan got the inside scoop a bit before us. Yeah.
Marnus will be key for you guys as well when he comes back.
Oh, Marnus when he comes back will be instrumental, but yeah, that's just Marnus. When he came back in that 2020-2021 season, when we were in finals, he was brilliant.
2 wickets, runs.
Yeah, exactly. But for Hobart Hurricanes, I'm not too sure who they've signed. Didn't Billy
They've signed Pakistani trio. Like they've signed Fahim Ashraf, Shadab Khan. I think that's it. I don't know anyone else.
Oh, Zach Crawley as well.
Zach Crawley, yeah.
They did sign Paddy Dooley I'm pretty sure from the Heat.
Who?
Paddy Dooley.
Oh, he played
with helicopter bowling style. Looks like a decent young talent. Wasn't too sad that we lost him though, honestly. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Billy Stan like a star last season.
Yeah. He signed.
So a few signings there for Hurricanes. None of them that good in my opinion. Who's your signing for the Hurricanes this season, boys?
None of them are good. Mate, Shadab Khan's going to kill it for the Hurricanes. That's what they needed. I think, as a Sixers fan myself, I'm pretty disappointed. We need another off spinner. I think Shadab Khan is a perfect fit, as we saw in the T20 World Cup. Pakistan 40 for 4. Shadab just comes in, plays a shot, 50 off 18. He's the perfect all-rounder. Can get wickets. He's economical. Can score runs. He's good on the field. He's already played a few games in Australia conditions. I think Shadab Khan's a perfect sign for the Hurricanes.
1 second there, though. Didn't Shadab Khan have to pull out of make his way to the BBL? Because I have down here that Zach Crawley, they signed Zach Crawley as an overseas replacement for Shadab Khan.
Yeah, so Shadab plays the first.
Shadab plays the first few games, then he'll head back to international duty.
Well, in that case, would he really be their best signing though if he's only played?
Considering either of them at the bottom probably has more impact than what others are going to do. So yeah, sure.
Okay. What about you, Lachlan?
Yeah, I've got to go Shadab Khan. I think knowing the history of what he's done in the game of cricket, international and in other franchises around the world, you can't go past him. I mean, he's a Pakistan veteran, a Pakistan hero for no reason.
Did he play for the Heat?
Yeah, he played for the Heat for a bit back in BBL.
8 or 9. It was 8 or 9, one of those two.
8, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because I think 9 we had Yasir Shah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. For me, I'll keep it short and sweet. Shadab Khan.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what about you, Davos?
Shadab Khan is for me. I really rate Shadab. I think he's one of the best leggies, T20 leggies in the world, besides Rashid Khan and obviously the best leg spinner in Adam Zampa. But I just think he can do it all. He can bat, he can bowl, he can field, and he's good. He's got good leadership skills as well, which it will really come in handy with the likes of Wadey, Shorty, and it'll help them a lot. So yeah, great signing for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for me, I'm not sure. I might trust you with the fact of Shadab Khan. I haven't seen enough from Zach Crawley because Zach Crawley was my original pick, but I haven't seen enough from him in T20, in the T20 format to really put him in there. So I'll trust you boys. I'll say Shadab Khan. I was looking at his stats before for the Heat actually just now, and he seemed to take a few wickets in only the few games he played in it looks like it was BBL 07 apparently according to the stats. But yeah, so I'll trust you boys there. Melbourne Renegades, they signed a few different people. Obviously, Liam Livingston probably would have been my pick if he hadn't hadn't all the commitments he had. But I'll go first here. I'm going to go Andre Russell. I honestly feel like he'll only be in there for 4 matches, but I feel like he may have a big impact on the way they play. I feel like the first 4 matches, if the Renegades can win that, they can avoid the spoon, and that's what they really want to do.
They can win out of 4.
Yeah, exactly.
They're versing 8 game 1, so they're going to win 3 at least.
Yeah. Not the first, not all 4, but probably the next 3, but not the first one.
They'll probably get the Heat once, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. What about you, Faraz? Who is your best signing for the Melbourne Renegades?
Honestly, with Livingston pulling out, they haven't signed anyone else, right?
Signed Guptill, Majid.
Heaps of people.
I was about to
Peter Hanscom today.
Yeah, Hanscom as well.
John Wells, Tom Rogers.
Wait, Hanscom went
They've
to the
recruited
Renegades.
really well, and that's why I'm
the Renegades today.
Hanscom went to. Okay,
Hanscom went to Gates.
I think Peter Hanscom's gonna have a big year. Oh, that's a massive sign right there. I didn't even know that wow, that's a huge signing. Was that announced today?
Yeah, that was announced. I think midday today. About then.
Man, I am honestly. I know we've moved past the segment, but I'm honestly maybe keen to change the spoon tip. Honestly, they've actually got a good batting lineup now. You've got Munro, you've got Guptill, you've got who else? Peter Hanscom, as you just mentioned. Harvey's great. Colin Munro. Sorry, no, that's
Munro's with the Heat.
Yeah, but Martin Guptill, honestly, Peter Hanscom, one of those two is gonna have a big year for the Renegades, I think.
That's fair. Davos, what about you?
I'm gonna go with obviously I'm a big fan of New Zealand cricket, so I'm gonna go with one of my favorite all-time players, Martin Guptill. I think he's very very underrated, and he can strike a ball at 200 strike rate, and not only that, he is very experienced, so he knows how to win T20 games, and I think he'll complement the likes of the young bloke like Fraser McGurk, Harvey really well, and he'll allow Finch to just settle in because Guptill can strike it really well. So
isn't he one of the few players who crossed 3,000 international T20 runs?
Yeah, I think he's like third in leading run scorers. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I
in
think him and
T20.
Coley. I don't know
I
who
think
else.
he knows how to play T20 quicker.
100%. He just needs. I think the Renegades are the perfect club for him.
I agree.
Lachlan, what about you?
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. I'll go Martin Guptill as well. I think going off what he's done for New Zealand cricket, I'm a huge fan in their system and what they bring out. I mean, the man's got firepower. Can hit a huge bomb. I think Tom Rogers is in for a big year as well, but Martin Guptill for me.
Yeah, I was actually about to say that. I'll change from Russell. I'm actually going to go Tom Rogers. I didn't realize he actually signed with the Renegades. I thought he signed with someone else like Scorchers or something, but no. Rogers is in for a big year. I really liked what he did last year. I'm going to go Tom Rogers.
Can I just change one thing on my ladder?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm actually going to push Hurricanes to the spoon. I think Renegades come 7th.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's something good about that batting lineup.
Yeah, the Renegades, they are stacked next year. I don't think we'll recognise them. For the Stars, we'll try and keep the rest of the signings pretty short. We have one more topic we want to talk about after. So for me, I don't really actually see many signings they actually made
For
based
Stars?
on what I have. Yeah, for the Stars.
Oh, Trent Bolt, easy for me.
Oh,
Easy.
sorry,
Yeah.
Bolt. At the start of the list. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how I missed that. I don't think we really need to discuss on that.
I'll second that, Trent Bolt.
Yeah, Trent Bolt. I'll have to go
Man's
with him
going
as
to
well.
Man's going to send every stump flying this season.
For Perth Scorchers. So, sorry, we all agreed on Trent Bolt there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perth Scorchers, I know they did sign, Cameron Green. They did sign Cameron Green, and I think he'll be out for most of it but they did sign Faf. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. Plessis? For obviously because Laurie Evans, I feel like Laurie Evans would have been great. He was wasn't he returning, but obviously he wouldn't have been a signing. But yeah,
I'll be short again. I'll go Faf.
Yeah.
Same. Faf.
And what about you, Davos?
Yeah, there's not much really to say. I have to go Faf. I mean, I don't know whether he'll open or he'll come in through the middle order, but I prefer Faf opening, to be honest. But I think he'll he's an upgrade over Laurie Evans, which is actually why I really like the signing.
Yeah, definitely. For the Sixers, I'm not too sure. Sorry, I can't really see much here. Naveed, maybe. Chris Jordan, but he's sort of returning, but not really. Who are you boys going? I guess I'm going to go. Oh no, Curtis Patterson. He had a great year last year. Patterson, I'm going to go with for me. Any of you boys want to go?
Who are we talking about?
The Sixers.
Sixers.
Yeah, Curtis Patterson for me.
I think Curtis Patterson's going to have a big year. I think coming to that middle order, we saw what he did for I honestly think Curtis Patterson was an underrated part of their success. I think Curtis Patterson's going to have a big year. Chris Jordan, don't get me wrong, he's a T20 specialist, but he's past there. But he's a good fielder.
Yeah, even though it's a re-signing, I'm gonna go James Vince. I think the man's class. You can't really say much about him in T20s.
Well, yeah, fair. Also, James Vince, he didn't play last year, did he?
Yeah, he did at the start of the year.
He did at the start.
Yeah, at the start, yeah. Davos, what about you?
I'm going to go with Lockie, James Vince. I mean, what I like about Vince is he's a 360 player, and not only that, he's flexible. He can open, he can bat at 3, he can bat 4. He can bat anywhere in the top order, which what I really like about Vince is that he can control an innings, but he can also go big when it's needed.
He's probably been our best batter. I don't know if you guys
agree. Because the thing is, with Vince coming, right, that allows Josh Philippe to just go hard, which is Philippe's strength. He can get the 6 off to a flyer. So, yeah, definitely James Vince.
And last but not least, the Sydney Thunder. I'm not too sure. I recognise that they've signed. Is it Faruqi? Is that who they've signed?
Usman Kazir, that one.
Yeah. I'm not really.
David
sure.
Warner, the
Warner's back as well. Okay, well in that case, I'm going to go David Warner then. if he won't be in too many games.
I know David want to sign with them, but I don't think it's a smart choice having the best signing because I think he'll barely play. But I'm going to go for Rookie. Just off based on what I've seen and all these Bangladesh games and all that against Afghanistan and all that. He can swing it a bit. He bowls like good pace. He can get wickets. He's economical. He's hard to get away. He's good at the death. I think Farouk will be good. And we saw in the T20 World Cup he was all right against Australia and whatnot. So I think Farouk, I think Kadir will struggle.
Yeah,
I'm going different. No one is mentioning his name leading up to this tournament. I don't know why, but Riley Rousseau.
Oh, yeah.
The form that man is in is insane. Like, I've never seen a guy hit the ball so cleanly. He's one to watch in the Big Bash. He could be up there for leading run scorer, but for me, I'll go Riley Rousseau. And Alex
Hales. Did he get 100 in the World Cup?
Yeah. Off like 50 something balls.
Yeah.
Alex Hayes will be up there as well.
Yeah.
What about you, Davos?
Can I count Alex Hales as a signing, or?
I mean, yeah, if you want to.
I have to go with Alex Hales. I mean, the bloke had a very good T20 World Cup, and I don't know why he wasn't selected for England in previous World Cups. I mean, the bloke's an absolute freak. Like, I think there was one season where he was like the leading run scorer in the BBL, and he just tore it to shreds. I mean, he's one of my favourite England players, but I do really rate him, and I feel like it's a very good signing.
Definitely. Now we're wrapped up on the best sign for each club, thank goodness. We'll quickly talk about the BBL draft. We'll have a quick discussion about this because I do want to quickly talk about the tipping comp announcement that I announced before for any new viewers that have rolled in. So, boys, what were your thoughts on that, especially with the fact that Liam Livingston, the first player to get drafted in the new BBL draft, obviously couldn't commit to the BBL because of the many other duties he had. What was your overall thoughts on the draft? I know a lot of people didn't really agree with it, considering you could still sign international players after the draft. Very weird. We'll start with Lachlan.
So going into this draft, it was new for everyone, but I already knew a few of the tactics going into it. As you boys know, I do get the inside scoop on a few things from the Heat. But like, I don't know if you saw, but Melbourne Stars, their first pick was actually Rashid Khan, which then made strikers use their retention picks, and then strikers didn't pick in the first round.
Do you think that was done from the Stars or not?
Just think, if Stars get Rashid, they wouldn't have got Bolt. So, and I knew the Heat were looking at keepers. I knew they were going to look at England batters. I've spoken to a few people here and there. I knew the Sam Haynes signing was coming in the last couple of days.
Yet someone doubted you.
Huh?
Yet someone doubted you.
Someone doubted me. His also name is Lockie. But I think the draft, it needs to stay. I think it was brilliant. Yeah. Everyone was excited. Everyone was waiting for who people were going to pick. It was interesting. That's my opinion on it. I think it should stay, and I think the draft was very well run for the first year.
Yeah, that's fair. Faraz, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm with Lockie there. I think the draft was, it was something new for the fans, but I think everyone got around it. Everyone watched it. Everyone enjoyed it. A few rants, as you probably know, when the Sixers tried to sign Jordan. And yeah, look, it's interesting because every team has different tactics. The Hurricanes, they went for Shadab Khan. We tried to go for Laurie Evans because he smashed across the park. That was weird. Yeah, look, it's interesting. I can't wait for what happens next year, but yeah, a few good players. There's a few shock admissions, but hey, we got Faf Duplessis in the Big Bash now, so I'm keen to see how this goes next year. But yeah, good way of organising squads.
Yeah. Davos, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I love the draft, to be honest. I mean, in my opinion, the two teams that won the draft the most, and this is not being biased, was the Heat and the Stars. I personally think that Trent Bolt, the way he's going to swing the ball at the MCG will really suit him, and Clark was a great signing. Luke Wood's a very good player as well. And then the Heat targeted what they needed, and there was a few surprises.
Yeah. And to be fair, for everyone saying that Sixers and Scorchers should have tried to go harder, they didn't sign anyone. These two are the best teams in the competition. It's bad if we really sign anyone that's good. Just makes us
I
stronger.
mean, Sixers did skip the platinum round though, which I thought was a bit dumb.
No,
Yeah.
the Scorchers did. Sixers got Jordan.
Oh, Scorchers
All right.
skipped. That's right. One of them did.
I think the reason Scorchers skipped apparently though was because they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough money, enough cap for it.
But
So-
now, but
salary
then
cap.
it makes sense.
Yeah,
though,
because they were too
now
busy
they
buying
can-
Coke for Laurie Evans.
But yeah, I think my thoughts on it. I think it does need to stay, but I think it is a bit weird that you draft the international, like the players that are in the draft, you choose to draft them, and then like you can still sign international players up. It was a bit weird,
Yeah.
but I do
I
like
think before going into the draft, they need to get player availabilities
yeah,
and because then
take
in the
that-
draft you should be able to sign replacement players at the end
yeah.
instead of after the draft and like 2 weeks or a week before the Big Bash starts.
Because I don't know about you, but if I'm a Renegades fan, I'm spewing the fact that Liam Livingston has put his hand up. to
Or
go
even the
into
Sydney
draft.
Thunder, they signed David Willey thinking he was available
Yeah.
for the full season and he pulled out.
Well, yeah, especially because then at that point, Liam Livingston, he was the first to go. And then, I mean, Martin Guptill obviously is still a great pickup for the Renegades. But if you think they could have gone for someone else at that point if they really wanted to, just because. And then they didn't end up doing it just because Liam Livingston has drawn out. Like I think you need to check a player availability. I agree with you there.
Mm.
It's that was it got on my nerves a bit. Of, like if you don't think you're going to be fully available, then don't put your hand up for the draft. It is what it is, though. That'll wrap us up on that part of the subject, and that'll pretty much wrap us up on the whole episode.
So
But
wait, what's
before-
your grand final predictions, boys? Like, who's the two teams?
Probably I'm going to go Stars and Scorchers, probably, or I'm going to go Stars and Heat.
Yep.
If it's Stars and Heat, I'm sorry, but I tell you, there could be black eyes.
Oh, sorry, Sixers, not Stars. What the fuck am I on? Sixers and Heat. Sixers and Heat. I'm so
Oh.
sorry. No, not
Yeah.
Stars.
Mine-
Stars aren't
mine's
getting anywhere
Sixers
near.
and Heat.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lucky.
Mine's Sixers and Heat.
I'm gonna go Scorchers and Thunder.
Okay. He doesn't even have Sixers anywhere near. What about you, Davos?
Sixers and Scorchers.
Sixers and
We're very sorry we aren't able to get to pretty much any of the questions in the chat. Most of them have been answered throughout the episode, though, in us saying what we have said. So thank you so much for pasting the questions in, though, and we do appreciate them all. We do appreciate all the viewers on the episode today. And before Lachlan does the outro, I quickly want to express again the NRL tipping comp that we are. Sorry, not NRL tipping comp. The BBL tipping comp. I'm not sure why that says that there. The BBL tipping comp that we are doing is going to be up. Already got it set up. A few of us are in it. Make sure you message the Instagram page, which I'll put up on the screen now. It is at the Final Siren Podcast. And if you do that, send us a message. Send us any questions you have. The winner of the tipping comp at the end of it will get $50 from us here at the Final Siren Podcast. So that's our big announcement for the tipping comp. I'll make sure to post on it. Send us questions, but I'll pass it over to Lachlan to end us off.
So it was another good episode. Nearly went for an hour. Speaking about the BBL season, which is just around the corner. Next Tuesday it kicks off between the Stars and the Thunder. But the game of the round is on the Thursday. Heat Renegades. We all know that's the case. But
Yeah.
Faraz, you still know like a porn star, mate. Don't come at me. But it's been us from the Final Sign Podcast. Dave, Noel, Faraz, and myself. Once again, make sure you follow the Instagram page at the Final Sign Podcast. Subscribe to the channel at the Final Sign. I've been thinking if we get the girls, Faraz has been what so between us, see you in the next episode. Final Sign Podcast. We're out.